Ever stood in the ocean and had something scramble across your feet? Probably a crab. Probably. The ocean can provide entertainment for many people, from scuba diving to fishing and surfing. But with over 95% of the ocean undiscovered, it's full of more mystery than excitement. And sometimes that mystery can turn a fun day at the beach into a rather terrifying memory. In 2006, a group of soldiers stumbled upon the carcass of a beast that had washed ashore. It was 15 feet long, but unlike most ocean creatures of its size, it possessed a beak and fur. Unsure of what the creature was, officials were notified, and the monster was quickly removed from the beach and never seen by the public again. Tests were conducted by Russian scientists to try to figure out what the beast was, but the scientists were only able to determine what the animal was not. By testing the bones and teeth, they concluded it was not an alligator, not a crocodile, and certainly not a fish. However, there are no records of tests confirming what the animal could have been, and the fur has stumped experts to this day. More recently, marine biologists have claimed that the creature is a beluga whale, based solely on examining photographs, not supported by any scientific testing, like DNA testing. Nikolai Kim, an expert in oceanography, has added his opinion, stating he believed the monster to be a species of big dolphin. Nikolai was quoted saying, "I can confidently say that this is some kind of dolphin. However, it has fur. It's unusual. Dolphins do not have fur." While the last part didn't come as much of a shock to anyone, Nikolai also doubts that the creature lived in the waters surrounding Sakhalin Island. Although many people, including experts, have weighed in on the identity of this creature, and many people have made their mind up on a reasonable conclusion for the creature, for many more it remains a mystery to this day. In 2003, just after 5:30 p.m. on a Friday evening, Peter Bailey decided to take a walk across the South Beach in Wales, accompanied by his 18-week-old Siberian Husky, Maisie. The pair's routine night turned quickly into something of a nightmare when Peter's dog began running in circles and howling. Peter immediately ran up to his dog and stumbled upon a hideous, decomposing body. The carcass had the head of a horse, claws like a bear, and the body of a pig. The creature is also described as being slightly larger than 3 feet long, having a beak, claws, and almond-shaped eyes. Peter posted a photograph he had taken to Facebook where it was shared thousands of times, and users wildly guessed at what the creature's identity could have been, ranging from a wild boar to a sea lion, a hippo, or perhaps a horse. Dr. Dan Foreman, a professor from Swansea University's College of Science, stated it's difficult to say what exactly it is, but he suggested that its 5 toes indicates that it could be a badger. Some others claim it's a dog whose body had become bloated due to the amount of time spent in the water. After receiving a copy of a photograph of the beast, Tenby vets suggested it could be a badger, but both Folly Farm and Pembrokeshire College's animal care team believe that it's a dog, specifically a bull terrier type dog. After the body disappeared from the beach, it's believed to have washed back into the ocean, and with it, the identity of this mysterious creature. September 25th, 1808. Following a storm on Stronsay Island in Scotland, locals discovered a strange animal lying against the rocks on the southeast area of the island. At the time of discovery, the corpse was unable to be reached, so it was impossible to closely examine the unidentified monster. However, 10 days later, a mighty gale of wind blew the decomposing remains to the shore. Upon discovery, the creature measured 55 feet long and 4 feet wide, but may have been longer while alive, since part of its tail appeared to be missing. The creature had 3 pairs of what appeared to be paws or wings. Its fins and back were lined with bristles that when stroked head to tail felt smooth, but when stroked reversely from tail to head felt rough. According to witnesses, the bristles glowed in the dark when wet in some form of bioluminescence. Its description closely resembled that of the Loch Ness Monster. The Natural History Society of Edinburgh was unable to identify the carcass and decided it was a new species. At the time, any attempt to identify the creature failed, and over 200 years later, the identity of this creature still leaves experts scratching their heads. On October 25, 1924, witnesses reported seeing a large white mass fighting two killer whales before swimming ashore and collapsing after a legendary triumph on the shores of Margate, South Africa. The event was so monumental that the beast received a name. He was called Trunko. The epic battle lasted an alleged 3 hours, where Trunko used his lobster-like tail to attack the whales. Witnesses also reported seeing Trunko lift himself 20 feet out of the water, stunning onlookers. Once beached on the shoreline, Trunko was characterized as having 8-inch-long white fur, a tail like a lobster, a 5-foot-long elephant-like trunk, and a carcass that contained no blood. The animal was measured to be 47 feet in length, 10 feet wide, and 5 feet high. Witnesses reported that the trunk was attached directly to the animal's torso, and no head was visible. Also known as the fish-like polar bear, many believe Trunko was the carcass of a large whale or large shark. It's also commonly believed that the decaying flesh gave the appearance of fur, and that the killer whales weren't exactly fighting Trunko as much as they were just feasting on a rotting corpse. Many others aren't convinced, believing Trunko was an undiscovered new species of whale, mutant shark, or possibly an albino southern elephant seal. Either way, Trunko has left quite the impression on those who have heard the story, inspiring a number of pieces of fan art throughout the years. That's all for now, so what do you think? Is there any merit to these monstrous claims, or are they just better left out to sea? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, you may not believe it, but anything is possible in a world so seriously strange. Thank you for watching. Now be sure to check out my recent episode on terrifying vacation cabin horror stories. It's one you won't want to miss. You can press on screen now to watch, or press the link in the description below. And of course, if you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe to my channel, because you won't want to miss what's next. And I'll see you next time.